Okay, so this video is gonna serve as my all-stars rant. In the background, some 6x6. That's what I felt like practicing today. Sorry, the solves are shit. I'm shit at 6. Yeah. So, all-stars was pretty alright. It was my first major that I've ever gone into with any sort of expectations of like podium or anything like that. So that was an interesting type of pressure that was foreign to me, which made this comp really special. So I'm just going to go through both rounds. First round, I got third, 2.40 average, no sub 2 singles. Scramble set was absolutely terrible. It was probably one of the worst sets of scrambles I've had all year. And a lot of people ended up just doing pretty bad on it. Yeah, I mean, 240 got third, case in fucking point. People did bad. But I'm happy to have gotten 240. My whole strategy for the round was basically go as safe as possible, not mess up, and make second round. I figured second round would end up being like 2.5, so I was pretty sure 240 would make it, but I ended up winning my group, getting third overall in the round, so I really can't complain about my performance there. A few of the solves, especially the 282, that was the solve where I think I left solve 4, I left the most on the table. Should have been probably like 2-2, which would have given me 2-2 average in second, but kind of like dropped the cube mid-solve, so that was different. But yeah, first round, no complaints. Finals was kind of a crash out round. Like solve 1, 257 plus 2 to a 457. That was the best scramble in my opinion. I think that was very 1-5able, which I can't really sit here and cope like, if I would have gotten 1-5 on that, I would have podium, because that would have been a 1-7 average. But because, who knows how that would have affected my mentality for the rest of the average. But it's very annoying nonetheless. That was really hard to start with. I pretty much knew, I'm the only person that didn't get sub 2 on that scramble. It was a really good one. The next slowest time was 199 Luke Garrett. So obviously first, I was pretty behind the pace. Second solve, 157, really good turning. It was almost terrace speed. Was very happy with that. 2.4, honestly, no notes. From what I remember, the scramble, I really haven't looked back at the scrambles or anything, but from what I remember, I really couldn't find anything in the moment, and I think 2.4 for whatever I found was fine. That was most people's worst solve anyway, solve 3. The majority of people, that was their worst solve, so that was, maybe not the majority of people were solved, but a lot of people did less well on Scramble 3. So I really not too mad about 2.4 on that one. 2.0 on Scramble 4. This was the first one and the fourth one were the two scrambles where I think all else staying the same, if I would have executed well, could have easily podiumed. That scramble was like 1.4able, and I just had really bad turning. First 3 moves, I just locked up to hell and back and got to 2.0. And then my mentality going to last solve, I knew I had 2.0 BPA. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew it was in the 2.0 range. I knew it probably wasn't quite sub 2, but it's like 2.0. And at the time, I figured 2.0 had a very good shot at podiuming. So last solve, I ended up clutching 158, which, not BPA, but 0.01 from getting BPA. So it was basically clutching BPA on last. 158 is one of the best times I've ever counted, so doing that in a Nats final, very happy with it. Execution on that solve was like not perfect, but it was just safe, because I knew if I went safe, I'd get 1.5, and that was all that mattered. So yeah, 202 average, tied PR3, my third 202 average. So tied PR3 with 2 other rounds. And so I really can't be too disappointed. I was initially really pissed off that I didn't podium, because I left a lot on the table and I tied 4th. Me and Marcus tied 202 averages. He's had a single that was 0.03 better than mine, so I ended up getting 5th. But yeah, so when I first saw the results, I was really pissed off because I didn't podium, and that was my only goal for this comp. But looking back on it, if you would have told me before the comp that I got 202 in finals, I would have been pretty happy. the fact that 202 didn't podium, I didn't realize this at the time. The fact that 2-0 didn't podium is incredibly unprecedented. There has never been pure sub 2 podium in a Worlds final, a NAC final, or a US Nationals final. So this is the first of its kind. This was the second fastest podium ever, and 202 is the world record for fastest average not resulting in a podium. So all things considered, I think I did about everything I could have. Definitely, I mean, I did leave a lot on the table, and I definitely think it could have gone better, but all things considered, I'm pretty okay with getting 5th. I mean, I was 10th seed going to the comp, so I outperformed that. And I swept multiple people that, well, there were 3 people that made finals that were ranked higher than me that I beat in both rounds. So, really, I think all things considered, All-Stars was a success. Wish it could have gone a little different, but I really can't complain. That's going to be it. Goodbye.